Wouldn't it be cool if you could bring data in as arrow tables from a data source, two different tables, and then in memory locally, you could actually join those two arrow tables together without needing to create them as data frames or Python dictionaries, just right in memory? Well, you actually can do this, and I'm going to show you how. Let's get into it. Okay, this is actually really powerful, and I have done it in a couple other projects and I wanted to show. You can bring in data from a data system using ADBC, Arrow Database Connectivity. I've got videos on this and Substacks on this. But you can bring that data in as an arrow table to your local machine in memory, and you can then join those two arrow tables together. Now, a lot of times you're going to be thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I got to turn this into a Python list or a dictionary or a data frame, and then I'll join. But you actually don't. You don't need to materialize it into anything else, whether it's a Python object or say a Pandas or Polar's data frame. You don't need to bring those libraries in. If you just want to join, you can actually use PyArrow's Compute library, which has a lot of really nifty functions and is something I'm just diving deeper into. I kind of keep playing this game now every time I write a script called, can I do it with PyArrow? And, I think you can a lot more often than not. And here's a great example of how. So in this very basic script, you'll see at the very top, my imports are incredibly minimal. I'm bringing in PyArrow and then PyArrow Compute library, PAPC, but ultimately it's all the PyArrow library. We don't have any actual materialized ingested data. We're going to make two different data sources just in the script in memory. They're very simple. What we're going to do is that we're going to simulate pulling like a users table and then pulling from an orders table. And then we're going to join the two together to make this useful in memory arrow table. Again, without having to turn it into a data frame or some kind of Python object. We're going to go like users with user ID. It's going to have a name. Orders will have user ID and amount. You can already guess what we'll be joining on, but there's a lot of classic joins right in the PyArrow Compute library. The first, for example, is inner. And this is incredibly simple, right? So we'll create something called results inner. And on that users table, we'll just join orders with the key being user ID, and then the type is going to be inner. And then we just combine the chunks here. There's also a left outer join if you want to do that. It's the same exact thing. We're just changing the join type. There's a right outer join if you ever want to do that. And then there's a full outer join as well. So that's pretty straightforward. And should get the gears turning if you have a couple ideas. I mean, specifically, if you're using like Streamlit, for example, Streamlit will actually read a PyArrow table inherently without turning it into a data frame. And it'll render it in a table in its own table format that it has. So you can actually use like ADBC to read from a data source, bring it into your Streamlit app. You could join these two things together, these two PyArrow tables together, and then just render the PyArrow table in Streamlit. You don't have to actually bring in a single data frame library. As someone who's worked in data science, data engineering for over a decade, I don't know, I find this to be like the most pure version of data processing. And I just get really excited about that. Let me show you another use case here. So here we got an inner join with column suffixes. Okay, then that's useful when both tables have this conflicting name. And this happens a lot when there's not really good formal data modeling happening. So you'll see here, there's this new orders with status and users with status tables. And so the users with status table has the user ID, the name, and the status. That'd be a user status. But then the orders ID also has a status, but that's a different type of status. It is for the order status instead of the user status in the other table. Well, what you can do here is you can do a join like we did before, where you have the key, it's going to be on user ID, and it's going to be an inner join, but there's a left and a right suffix here, which means it's looking for the user status and then the order status. So the left table for the conflicting column is going to have user added to it, and then the right table for the conflicting column name is going to have order added to it. And I'll show you when we run the script, and it's pretty cool. And then finally down here, you can chain operations. Okay, you can join and then filter all in Arrow memory. And like I said, this is where you really start to get clever, I think, of just being like, wow, I don't have to bring in a library. I can keep kind of pushing it along using Arrow only. So here we've got this results chain object where we're going to use the users table originally made. We're going to join it with the orders, okay, on user ID as an inner table. And then we're going to filter that to where it is greater than the amount of 200. So we're going to filter where, the amount column is greater than 200. And then we're going to print out those results. There's a lot here that can happen immediately. And that's one of the cool things about this PyArrow table, the way the sky is the limit with these arrow tables. So I'm pretty impressed by it. Let's run this real quick and I'll just show you obviously how fast that is. These are small tables, but still you can see there is the inner join, okay? And we've got this here, so single table there, our outer join, our right outer join, the inner join with the suffixes. So notice here, so there's a user ID, there's the name, then you see status with the user is added, and then an amount, and then status order is added. That's so cool with the conflicting column name. That is really cool to be able to do. And then down here, you'll see the PyArrow table that's replaced is just the orders over $200 with the customer name. And so these two people, Bob and Charlie, are the only ones that are that way. Super cool. Everyone, I hope you liked that. That was a fun little journey into joining PyArrow tables. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'm going to be having so much more deep dives into what we can do with Arrow and beyond, one of my favorite technologies. And as always, I hope you like this video and have a great day.